So for this one, you need the 5x7 mechanism. So that's this one here. So you get the 3 dies, you get your arrow, your pull tab, and your main plate there. And then I'm going to be using the adorable doggy set here. So I always like to lay the puppets out so you can kind of see what they are. So you can see the ears, the head, arms, body, legs. You've got all the toys icons there. Everything for the face, whiskers, you've got the collar, tail, paws, you know, it's all kind of there. So that's how I like to lay it out. And just check every time you put them away. You've got your die count there on the pack. That's classed as 1 die. But yeah, just double check them because there's some small pieces there. So this one's going to be a fun fold because I'm trying to show lots of different ways to use the puppets rather than just putting them straight onto the front of a card. You can add them to fun folds as well. And if you've seen the 6x6 or you have the 6x6 set when that originally came out, you would have seen the different shaped cards that I used for that set. So I'll link that one up here. So you want a piece of cardstock. This is 10x7. And along the 10-inch side, you want to score at 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 7 1/2, and 8 3/4. You're then going to fold each side so you have a concertina fold, so like this. So that's how the card will be in the envelope with the dog on the front. And then when it opens up, they're going to see the sides and it can be displayed, and you've got your space on the back to write your message. So for this one, I've used this gorgeous paper. So this is the new paper pad. This is 5x7, the first time I've done this size. You've got these wonderful scenes. So you don't have to use them with the puppets. They're going to just be lovely backgrounds for lots of other things in my collection. Gorgeous, love the rainbow. That's really cute. And you've got the sky there as well, and this one. So I've taken, like I said, this design here. So I've already cut it with the main plate, and I'll talk you through that in a moment, but that's going to go in the middle. And then I thought it would be nice to just continue the scene. So I did cut them, yeah, so they're together. So you want 4 actually, it'd be. Let's just check, those are there. So yeah, 4 pieces of 1 by 6 3/4. Yeah, 6 3/4. And you see how they're going to go. So I'm going to stick those 4 down, and I'm also going to cut a piece of white card for the back. That will be 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So you want to take the die, cut it with your pattern paper first. Okay, so just position this over the pad. That's the nice thing about the 5x7 size, and even using it with the A2 set that we launched, you're having very little waste. So you can see when I lay that over the top, you're just losing a 1/4 inch border around the edge there. So you really do get all of the design, which is great. I've also cut it again in white 300 GSM cardstock, or a 220, you know, something around that weight's going to be fine as well. But you just need to just reinforce that paper a little bit more because it's just a bit too lightweight to be able to hold that mechanism. So I've just doubled it up there, and you can see now that's nice and strong. And then you want to cut your pull tab. I always like to cut this twice. So I've just used the same card here, which is a 220 GSM. Stuck those together, and now again, tap it, you can hear it's nice and strong. And then I've cut the arrow in white card and stuck that on there. That will eventually go through like so. Puppet will all be attached, and that will go on the front, and you can see how we're going to have that cute card. So now I'm going to talk you through how to make the puppet and all the little pieces. So use the packaging as a guide because all of the pieces are all just laid out there, just in different colours, right down to that tiny little light turquoise piece there on the ear. That's the die. You'll see that in a moment. You've also got your stamps there as well, and then you've got dies here, different toys and things. So first of all, I've cut the body in black. So I'm making this one to look like my little sausage dog Monty. He's a black and tan sausage dog, so any colour. We tried to do it so it's quite a generic looking dog, and then, you know, you could, you know, draw in patches, use your inks, colour it. You could cut it all in white and then colour it. So lots of ways to do it. And you'll also notice the tail's different. So I cut the tail, but my sausage dog doesn't have a tail like that. So I literally just snipped off the fluffy bit there. Okay, so it's the same tail, but I just cut that bit off. So cut the body, and then I've cut the other piece here, the middle piece, in tan, because that's the colour that he is. And I've stamped the sentiment rough day. So this is going to be a bit like a get well or just a little pick-me-up card. So that's going to go in the middle, probably be a bit further down like that. You can also have it this way if you want the dog to be bigger at the top and thinner at the bottom. But I've done it this way. So it'd be about there, I reckon. Okay. The tail is going to be stuck behind here. That doesn't move. So it'll be probably about that because it needs to sit within the 5x7 size. Then you want to cut the head here. And you can see the shape of it there. You've got these little details here. That's the side. That's going to go there. And then we've got his arms. So one there, and then his feet there and there. Now my dog has tan paws, so I have cut the feet again in tan, and I've just snipped off. If I lay this over the top, I just snipped all of that portion off and just kind of followed the slope there down to the bottom. So it's given me now little tan paws. And the dies, lots of them have stencil detail. So you'll see here the stencil detail. So just keep the die, or keep the cardstock in the die, and then use your inks and just stencil over like so, and then just rinse that under the tap and the ink will come straight off. Again, things like this, it's all stencil detail, and here, and also that one as well. So I've got one there for each foot, so I'll stick those on in a minute. And then you've got the die here for the hands. They're going to go on like so. I mean, he could look like a monkey as well. When I've been putting these characters or the pets together, like for example, the guinea pig, he can also be a hamster, a mouse, a rat, a gerbil. So, you know, you can do more with them as well. And I know the Christmas ones, people were really creative and turned the characters into completely different animals. It was, it's really good actually. Okay, so we've got that. Then this part here is, you can see here, it's like the center of the face and his nose area. So that one's going to go in there. We've got ears. We've got one there and one there. And then you've got, like I said, those tiny bits there. Now I've been using my pickup tool on all the puppets. It's a little wax end and it's just brilliant for picking up those really small pieces. So this one is going to go on that side, and then this one on that side there. They're all going to stick behind the head in a moment. For the whiskers, I've cut them in vellum. You could do black if you want, but because Monty's already very black, they would have kind of got lost. So I thought the vellum was a bit different. So you can see they're going to go either side there. This die here is everything you need for the face. So you could just run it through in white card if you wanted to, and then colour all the pieces. But I've run mine through in white and used the largest circles. Okay. One is slightly smaller than the other. It's meant to be like that. In fact, I think the smaller one is, let me just see there. Yeah, it is on the right side. And then I ran it all through in black. So it gave me this part here. And then I kept the nose in black. That's going to go there. I'll put some shine on that as well. And then I ran it through, was it that piece? No, that was it. Then this piece here is for the ears. So run that through in tan, and then I ran it through again in pink, and it gave me the little tongue here. And the shape of the tongue will sit around the curve here of this piece. You see that fits in perfectly. And there's a little bit of stencil detail there. So it'll give you a little line. I might just do a little pink line there. You've got the pupils there. And then you've got the tiniest, they are there. Make sure it's not, I don't lose it. The tiniest little white dots. If you want, and I've done this on some of my samples, just use a gel pen. I've just got this one here, which is the jelly roll, and it's size 10. So, but they are there. They are the tiniest pieces, but I think I'm going to cheat and just use my jelly roll. But the positioning of them will really change the character and the expression. So do play around because you can get some nice funny effects. I've then got the collar. So I've cut that in gold, and then I cut it in green. And the green one, I snipped off this bottom portion and then just stuck that on the top. So you've got your little tag there. I'm also going to keep the center as well. So it's just solid like so. We'll attach that in a moment. And then I've only used these two icons. because just because of the busy paper, I just thought it would probably look a bit too much. The dog bowl here, I've cut it in white. To get it a solid piece, I just double up the cardstock and put the die on top. So it will cut through the top layer, but it will struggle to cut through the bottom layer. And it will just cut the outline. So you've got that solid die, and then you can just build up on top. So I cut it again in white, stuck that on top, then cut it in blue, just kept that portion, and then cut it in black. And I've used a bit of accent glaze on that. And then with this one, I cut it in white, cut it in green, but I cut up the green. And these are all individual pieces of the green just stuck on the white piece, so it looks striped. So I'm going to get all these pieces stuck down. Okay, so everything's nearly down. I just want to talk you through these pieces. So for the collar, what I recommend you do is just add a little glue on the back there of the bottom of the head, and then just tack it just behind. Not everyone's going to add the collar, like so, and then add, I haven't stuck that one down, let's stick that down first, and then I'm going to add my glue onto the collar. If you want adding the collar, you just add the glue where I did on the head and then just attach it straight to the body. So now that can go out there. And then for the ears, you just want to add the smallest amount of glue. There's no pressure on these pieces or anything, like so. And then just, because you want to see a little bit of that tan detail. And then I'm just going to take my gel pen and I'm going to add a little dot there and one over there. And you'll see straight away that gives you a bit more character. Now, the only thing I don't like is the whiskers. I think I will end up changing them. I think I've got some shiny black, so I'll probably use that instead. You can just see the glue there. It's not going to work. So, but I'll leave this in the video because I think it's always handy to see these things. I'm just going to peel those off. So you want to have the head and the body all attached, and then you've got your 4 limbs, and then I've got the tail. I'm going to position that, I think, once I've stuck it all on the card. So you then want 8 brads. You want the 5mm brads, and I'll have some of those linked below. And you want to take this one first, your pull tab, and I always start with one of the arms. The outer hole on all of the limbs will attach to the 4 holes on this pull tab. So take a brad, pop it through the outer hole there, and then through here, and then I like to open up the brad and then wrap it as I open it around the end of my pokey tool. What this will do is it will just allow this to move more freely, and you'll get a much nicer movement. You can flatten it, squash it, but you'll probably hear the brad scratching, or it might squeak, whereas that's just going to move really nicely. Okay, so now we've got 2 arms that wobble. You want to do the same with the legs. Okay, so now you should have some wobbly limbs like so. Then you want to take this one here and you want to thread that through. Okay, like that. Bring it up a little bit higher. The 4 remaining holes on the limbs will all attach to the 4 holes on here. So the top 2 for the arms, the bottom 2 for the legs. So pop that through, take another brad and pop it through the other hole, and then line it up with the hole there. Open it up on the back, and again just use my brad there. Probably see it better against the white actually. And then do a test. You'll see already now, oh, that's catching on the bottom, there we go. That moves really well. And I've said in all the videos, you know, you don't have to have both arms or even all the limbs moving. You could attach the legs to the back of the body here and the arm, and he just waves. And you could have a sentiment that says something like just stopping to wave hello or something like that. So you can, you know, change them. So again, just pop that one through. Okay, and again, do another test. So now we want to attach the body over the top here. So you want to have this all pushed down, and I like to use some foam tabs here, and you want to double them up because we need to bring the foam up so it's the same height as the brads. In fact, I'm going to try using these square ones here, which are from Creative Craft Products. So just cut it like so, and just going to cut a couple squares, and just use this here. You want to stick it just below the arm there. Because these thicker legs, you need to make sure that when that comes down, you don't want it to hit against this foam. Okay, so you can see the space that you've kind of got to work with there. So I'm just going to take off. So I probably could have gone a bit bigger with that. Again, once you've made them a few times, you'll know exactly what you need to do, how big they need to be. But make sure it doesn't touch the bar there in the middle. But double it up so it's obviously got that height. I'm going to just do the same on this side here. And then the same along the top of the slot there. Again, make sure nothing goes into that area. And just stick another piece on top. Take the backing off of all of them. Test one more time that nothing's sticking against the foam. And then whilst he's still in this position, you want the bottom of the body to just cover the bottom of the legs there. And the rest should all cover up all of those working. Oh, no, it needs to go up a little bit higher. There we go. And it should all cover the workings. And now we've got our fun little dog. He's so cute. And then for the tail, I'm just going to stick that so it's behind. What I might actually do is just stick it onto the actual card. So I'm just going to add the glue like so. Use my tweezers because you don't want anything interfering with that mechanism. There we go. Yeah, that works fine. So now on the back, just use some foam. I like to run a strip down through the middle there and then down each side. And then focus on your border. And that they all look the same. And now when that stands out, you see, it looks so cool. And then I've already got my sentiment there, rough day, and then on the inside, you know, I could have, you know, get well soon, or sorry to hear you're feeling down. Now, I have been adding some of the props actually onto their hands, so like sticking it on, but that one's quite big. What I might do is use the bone. I might just die cut the bone quickly in white, and I might instead just have this one maybe just like stuck there, like it's been thrown in the air, because that's not going to interfere. No, that's going to work. So we could have that one there. How far down do the legs go? Legs are fine, so we can have his bowl there. I mean, you could stamp a sentiment there if you wanted to. I think I might add a bit of foam onto the back of this piece actually, just because, you know, it's not adding any more dimension to the card. So let's pop that one there. Pop a little bit of foam behind this as well, because then it will, you know, have a bit of a shadow behind and look like it's been thrown. Yeah, that looks cute. And then I'm going to put the bone in his hand there, I think. So that's the finished card. I'm going to add some accent glaze to his nose in a second, but I'll just hold it up just so you can see it a bit closer there, and again how that all works. I think it's so cute. All folds down there, that goes down, so that will all fit in your envelope, and then it can all be displayed like so. So let's add just a little glaze on his nose. So, and I also forgot to add just a little pink line in the middle of the tongue there. There we go, just a little bit more detail there. How cute's that? So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial showing you how to put together the adorable doggy. Like I said, I've done this so it looks like my dog, but change the colours and move the ears, change the tail. There's lots you can do with this to personalise it. I will have some other tutorials of the puppets popping up now. You might want to watch those next. I would have shared the playlist, and I'll have all of the products that I've used linked in the description box below the video. Thank you as always for watching today, and I'll be back again very soon. Bye.